It may sound like science fiction, but they've been around for years. Cabbages that produce scorpion poison? It's been done. Oh, and the next time you need a vaccine, the doctor might just give you a banana. You're probably familiar with South Korea's glow-in-the-dark cats. They're genetically modified cats with fluorescent pigmentation in their skin that causes them to glow red under UV light. The researchers then cloned them, successfully carrying the fluorescent gene to the next generation of kitty clones. Insane, isn't it? If that sounds extreme, just check out these 10 insane cases of genetic engineering. Number 10. Chicken egg drugs. If you have cancer, you might eventually be able to cure it by eating more eggs. But not just any eggs from chickens that have been modified with. British researcher Helen Tseng has developed chickens infused with human DNA that contains proteins that can fight skin cancer. When the chickens lay eggs, half of the normal protein that makes up the egg whites will instead contain the drug proteins used against cancer. Those drugs can then be isolated and given to patients. The idea is that manufacturing the drugs this way would be cheaper and more efficient, without the use of the expensive bioreactors that are the industry standard right now. There are many potential benefits to this system, but some people have raised the question of whether chickens used to produce drugs would be reclassified as medical equipment rather than animals, allowing them to get around animal rights laws. Number 9. Super salmon. AquaBounty's genetically modified salmon grows twice as fast as the conventional variety. The company says the fish has the same flavor, texture, color and odor as a regular salmon, and can help address overfishing problems. However, the debate continues over whether the fish is safe to eat or good for the environment. Genetically engineered Atlantic salmon has an added growth hormone from a Chinook salmon that allows the fish to produce growth hormone year-round. Scientists were able to keep the hormone active by using a gene from an eel-like fish called an ocean pout, which acts as an on switch for the hormone. Some opponents are concerned that if this fish were ever to escape or be introduced into ecosystems, it might be about outcompete native species and become invasive. The FDA approved the sale of the salmon in the U.S. in 2015, marking the first time a genetically modified animal was approved for sale in the U.S. Number 8. Spider goats. Strong, flexible spider silk is one of the most valuable materials in nature, and it could be used to make an array of products, from artificial ligaments to parachute cords, if we could just produce it on a commercial scale. In 2000, Nexia Biotechnologies announced it had the answer, a goat that produced spider's web protein in its milk. Researchers inserted a spider's dragline silk gene into the goat's DNA in such a way that the goats would make the silk protein only in their milk. This silk milk could then be used to manufacture a web-like material called biosteel. Number 7. Banana vaccines. People may soon be getting vaccinated for diseases like hepatitis B and cholera by simply taking a bite of banana. Researchers have successfully engineered bananas, potatoes, lettuce, carrots, and tobacco to produce vaccines, but they say bananas are the ideal production and delivery vehicle. When an altered form of a virus is injected into a banana sapling, the virus genetic material quickly becomes a permanent part of the plant cells. As the plant grows, its cells produce the virus proteins, but not the infectious part of the virus. When people eat a bite of a genetically engineered banana, which is full of virus proteins, their immune systems build up antibodies to fight the disease, just like a traditional vaccine. Number 6. Singing mice. Most of the time, scientists go into an experiment with a purpose. Sometimes, however, they just throw a bunch of genes into a mouse and wait to see what happens. That's how we got this mouse that chirps like a bird. It's part of the Evolved Mouse Project, a Japanese research project that's taking a brute force approach to genetic engineering. They're modifying mice, letting them breed, and just sort of noting down the results. While checking a new litter of mice one morning, they discovered one of the baby mice singing like a bird. Excited, they focused on that mouse and now have over 100 mice that can sing, and they noticed something else interesting. When regular mice grew up around singing mice, they began to use different sounds and tones, sort of like a dialect spreading through a human population. What will the singing mice be used for? Who knows? But the project's goal is to artificially speed up evolution, and it seems to be taking some unexpected directions at the very least. Professor Takeshi Yagi also claims that they have a mouse with short limbs and a tail like a dachshund. Strange. Number 5. Scorpion cabbages. Scientists have taken the gene that programs poison in scorpion tails and looked for ways to combine it with cabbage. Why would they want to create venomous cabbage? To limit pesticide use while still preventing caterpillars from damaging cabbage crops. These genetically modified cabbages would produce scorpion poison that kills caterpillars when they bite leaves, but the toxin is modified so it isn't harmful to humans. Number 4. Environmentally friendly pigs. Mother Nature is kind of a jerk. First she put all our meat inside animals that can run away from us, and then she went and turned those animals into environmental pollutants. Fortunately, science is here to pick up the pieces. Enter the EnviroPig, a pig genetically modified to absorb morphitic acid, which in turn reduces the amount of phosphorus waste produced by the pig. The goal is to reduce phosphorus pollution that comes from spreading pig manure on the ground, one of the many ways hog farms deal with excess pig waste. The excess phosphorus in normal pig manure builds up in the soil and leaches into nearby water sources, which is a problem. With extra phosphorus in the water, algae will grow at an increased rate, taking all the oxygen out of the water and basically suffocating all the fish. The project ran for 10 generations of EnviroPigs, but ran out of funding in 2012. Number 3. Humanized cow milk. As if humanized chickens weren't strange enough, scientists in China have already spliced human genes into more than 200 cows in an attempt to make them produce human breast milk. And it worked. According to Ning Li, who's in charge of the research, all 200 cows are now producing milk identical to the milk produced by a lactating human mother. Their method involved cloning human genes and mixing them with the DNA in a cow embryo. The embryo was then implanted into a female cow. Their plan is to develop a genetically modified alternative to baby formula which can be given to infants, although people are understandably concerned about the safety of giving GM breast milk to babies. Number 2. Pigs with human organs. Possibly the furthest anyone has ever gone to cross human and animal genetics, several separate research teams have begun breeding pigs with organs that are suited for transplant to humans. Xenotransplantation, transplanting organs across species, has been a problem for pig-to-human transfers because of a specific enzyme that pigs have, but which is rejected by human bodies. Randall Prather, a researcher at the University of Missouri, has cloned 4 pigs so far that no longer have the gene that produces the enzyme. A Scottish company, the same company responsible for Dolly the sheep, was also able to successfully clone 5 pigs that lack the same gene. It's very possible that in the near future, GM pigs like this will be grown like organ factories. Another possibility is that actual human organs will be grown inside pigs instead. That research is still speculative, although a rat pancreas has already been grown inside a mouse. Number 1. DARPA's super soldiers. The U.S. defense company DARPA has been interested in the human genome for years, and as you might expect from the company that's created 99% of the world's deadly robots, their interest isn't purely for educational purposes. Skirting around the Human Chimera Prohibition Act is difficult, but they seem to be experimenting with various ways to engineer a super soldier with their research into the human genome. One project in their 2013 budget projection sets aside $44.5 million to develop biological systems that cross multiple scales of biological architecture and function, from the molecular and genetic level. The goal is to enhance the soldier's abilities in a war zone. But here's another project that's, honestly, blatantly terrifying. Their Human-Assisted Neural Devices program, on page 70 of the budget, if you want to look, sets a goal to determine whether networks of neurons can be differentially modulated through optogenetic neural stimulation in animal models. Optogenetics is an obscure branch of neuroscience that is used to, we kid you not, manipulate neuronal activity and to control animal behavior. And the budget goes on to specify that they hope to have a working demonstration of that technology on a non-human primate sometime this year, which indicates that they're pretty far along, and definitely shows where they want to eventually go with the technology: zombie human super soldiers. Genetically modified organism is always a debatable topic among scientists, academicians, and public. What are your opinion about it? Do tell in comment section. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and please do subscribe and hit the notification bell to get updates of my upcoming videos. See you in the next video. Until then, keep learning, keep growing. Loki Genius is over and out for today.